We're gonna unlock one. We're gonna unlock another one, and we're gonna push for a game. Hey yo, how's it going everyone? Entropy here today with another video. Today we're gonna be doing another deck profile for set 21 Neon Messiah, and that is honestly gonna be one of the most aggressive and a new archetype to Vanguard 0, and that will be Link Joker's Deletors. Now, Deletor's mechanic is to delete your opponent's Vanguard. In essence, it's kind of like locking them down. You're going to remove their text, you're going to remove their power, turn them to 0, and remove their skills as well. So it's pretty strong. Of course, in Vanguard 0, you have to go through the rearguards, but there are ways around it. And so let's talk about it and how the deck functions and maybe get a few games in. This deck is honestly the second deck that I used throughout my journey on ladder. Right now I'm top 10ish, so doing pretty well. And this deck is definitely really nice. Change of pace. It is equally as aggressive. Of course, it's not as consistent as brawlers, but it definitely can steal games and there's a lot of synergy. And I'm really excited to be able to showcase this to you. So for the starter, we're going to be playing Acquired Deletor Igor. Igor has resist, which is really good. When your opponent's Vanguard is deleted, put this into your soul to draw a card and countercharge 1. So it lets you draw, which is a slight issue in Link Joker, but most importantly, it helps you countercharge 1. You have a lot of skills that use Counterblast 1, Counterblast 2 primarily, so this card definitely really helps you. It also goes into the soul, where you do want to use your Soul Blast skills, and definitely very important. Next, we play 4 PGs. Definitely play 4 PGs. Play the Deletors one because we do need the Deletor name. We play 4 of the Gunic. When play Soul Blast 2, draw 1. Very important, as I just mentioned, draw is rare or hard to come by with Link Joker. Definitely very nice to be able to plus. And even though it's a 5k body, you will be able to use this for other skills, whether that's on the board or in your hand as a discard cost. We play 3 Palladiums because we are still able to do Link Joker's bread and butter locking. So this card does help you extend your locks. So primarily, you'd want to be using this to extend your opponent's front row locks and close out the games. Lock is still a very, very strong mechanic. You know, it helps you offensively, ignore intercepts and go face, and also defensively means 1 less attack on your opponent's turn. So it's very important, and definitely want to be playing 3. And lastly, we play 2 Guims. I don't even know. Idolizing Deletor Guim. Rigor Circle, when this unit boosts, it hits a Vanguard. When your opponent's deleted, lock one of your opponent's back row rearguards. Very nice, especially if you're going early game. You're Oksizzing, you're trying to lock down your opponent's key pieces like a you know, grade 3 searcher, like a conroe, maybe a booster like a filter. So it's really solid, especially because when your opponent's deleted, their power is 0, but they can still be boosted, right? So boosted by 6k or 7k. If they see a trigger, they can still hit through those intercepts or those 11k Vanguards. So Guim does lock that down. Unfortunately, from testing, I don't think it's that necessary. It's not that important because it does need to hit Vanguard, and we do have another unit that can lock back row on hit. So I'd rather use that, and Guim, well, it's an option, but it's there. But I'd rather play that 1 extra Palladium. For the grade 2s, this is the key unit, Zaele. This is the mate. When placed, if your opponent Vanguard is in delete, lock one of your opponent's front row rearguards. So this is your way to lock. You know, this is the one unit that actually locks front row in your deck. So be careful when using this because you only have 4. You can search this out, and you know, you use your Zaele during your delete turns. You use your Palladium to extend those lock turns, and that is how you actually use delete to its fullest potential to actually punish your opponent for not being able to scale up on the defensive side of the game. Speaking of being able to attack, Clipping Deletor Evo is the one you want. This used to be a promo. It did get reprinted in the G era, but it's really, really nice that we were able to have this card so early. Rigor Circle in place. If your opponent's Vanguard is in delete, Counterblast 2 to call a Deletor other than itself from deck. So your main target is probably going to be Zaele, honestly. Zaele just helps you front row lock, which is really good. So definitely do consider that. Next up, we play 3 of the Greedy Deletor Zaele. Zaele, as I just mentioned with the starter as well, Counterblast can be an issue. Zaele solves that issue. On hit, if your Vanguard's a Deletor, you can Soul Charge 1, Countercharge 1. So yes, it does need to hit a Vanguard, but when your opponent is in delete state, when your opponent has 1 or 2 locked front row, it is really easy to achieve. Even if it's early game, you know, even if you have to choose a ride target, Zaele is a pretty good ride target. Simply because it at least gives you that Soul Charge 1, which you can then use Gunic more often then. so that's really nice. And lastly, we play 2 Astral Reapers. Now this isn't a Deletor, but what this unit does give is resist, which is really good against the Paladin clans, Kagero even. But also it has, when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, Soul Blast 1 to check top 5 for a card with the same name as your Vanguard and add it to your hand. And this is really valuable because you do want multiple copies of your the units on your Vanguard circle. For example, when you are on Zaele, when Legion can +1 discard a card, a Deletor to delete your opponent's Vanguard, blah blah blah. But most importantly, its mate is the Gael, which, as we mentioned, is really good. So when you're in Legion state, you can use the Astral Reaper to actually help you search out more Zaels to Legion again, because it can only delete on Legion, or search for another Gael for more lock shenanigans. So that's really important. In addition, when this attacks the Vanguard, it gets +2k. So it's a pretty good Legion, honestly. It is your second Ryan target, honestly, but it's still a really solid unit nonetheless. One thing to note is that deleting in 0 says this: at the start of your opponent's next ride phase, your opponent may discard a card from their hand. If not discarded, your opponent cannot normal ride during that ride phase. So deleting when your opponent's grade 2 is quite a solid play, because your opponent, probably should ride into grade 3, so they have to -1 to ride up. When your opponent's in Legion state, for example, then they will lose out on that Legion. But nonetheless, it's just really good. Not all delete skills have this text, but the 2 main ones do. We have Oksizz. This is the main unit. This is your first ride target. This is the trial deck boss. I mean, they honestly buffed it really well. So Vanguard Circle kind of to put a Deletor Rearguard into your soul to delete your opponent's Vanguard, and this gets +10. So it can basically hit anything. It's 21 against your opponent's 0k Vanguard. And Vanguard Circle at the start of your opponent's ride phase, if your opponent's Vanguard is delete, blah blah blah, it does the same thing, but it's a passive skill instead. So again, your opponent's your soul skill, your discard skill, your primary target is going to be the Gunnick. But of course you can delete other, you can discard or put other cards into soul as well, but Gunnick is just a 5k. When it's on the board, when your soul blast, you drew the card, it's basically a 5k, it doesn't do much. So using that as the cost is really nice. If you don't have any soul, well, just discarding it is also really nice for the Deletor name cost as well. We play one of the Squirm Deletor Lorelo. I tried playing this at 4, but honestly, it is a bit conditional. First of all, at the end of the battle, this unit attacked. If it drive checked to grade 3, you then need to retire a grade 3 Deletor Rearguard and then delete your opponent's Vanguard. So the only way you'd actually choose to go into this is maybe super late into the game. But honestly, if it's early game and you ride this, well, the reason why you ride this is because you're not seeing Oksizz or you're not seeing Zaele. So you're already missing 8 of the main grade 3s you want. What are the chances that you'll brick and see this unit and then one of the other 4 heal triggers? Not really likely, right? And if you were to brick like that, you're probably going to be losing anyway. So Lorelo I don't really like after playing with it. It sounded decent in theory. Another weakness is that it doesn't have that discard cost, so your opponent can just re-ride and simple like that. But it does have that +3k on attack Vanguard, so there's that, I guess. And lastly, we play 4 of the Iggy. Iggy is surprisingly good. It's a 10k though. But Rearguard Circle, when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if your opponent's Vanguard is deleted, lock one of your opponent's back row Rearguards. So this way you can extend those back row locks, force your opponent to not be able to hit those numbers, even if they do have different columns, even if they did, especially if your opponent did not undelete, then this is very good. So overall, the deck is really solid, especially in this set 21 meta. I cannot say the same when we get into Stride. My initial experience playing against this deck in G was in JP for the G era, and all I needed to do was Stride, and then it counteracts the entire mechanic. But right now, I think it's still really strong. I think in the G era, if you are playing well and wisely and you're timing your deletes properly, you can still succeed. But right now, even if you don't time it properly, you will succeed. So that's why I really like the deck right now. It's a pretty straightforward deck. Delete, lock, win games, right? Just punch face, because you don't have other unit to hit. So I guess without further ado, let's go into a few games and showcase how the deck can not only delete your opponent's Vanguard, but delete your opponent's chances of winning. That sounded better in my head. But yeah, before we continue, just wanted to let you guys know, if you are shopping TCG player, consider using my TCG player code down in the description box down below to support the channel, and I would really appreciate it. And one more thing is, of course, if you have any suggestions for content, let me know down below as well, so I can work through it and see what I can do, and try to get you what you want. So yeah, let's go into a few games. Right now we are at Legend 38, six win streak. I think 3 was from the Deletor deck, 3 was from Narukami this afternoon. So that's where we're at. And special thanks to Kamui Nova Grappler main here for being a member of this channel. You can be a member too by clicking that join button. So that would be really nice. But yeah, let's see what we're going to be playing against here. Hopefully we're not kicked out of this game because it's been loading for quite a while now. There we go. Alright, of course, get the skins you like. There is the new Aichi skin, and there is the Corn skin for Link Joker. I got both because they both look really good. Pick the one you like there, they're both really good. And of course, do the memorial quests for the new sleeves and extra rewards. So here, honestly, for the mulligan, again, this is a decent ride target, grade 2. This is fine. I am going to primarily try to look for Oksizz and other ways to plus. But Zaele is fine as well. This might be a VP former. Hopefully not. It is probably. Nice. Okay. She kind of looked kind of derpy there. Anyways, so let's try to actually go into a proper game and get some proper deleting going. Try to end Vanguard for some of you peeps. So overall, main right target, Palladium, Guium for great. Another farmer, really. Okay, let's try that again and hopefully see a proper player, because we are already 1 game away from getting to 39, and this video just shows how easy it can be sometimes, which it really isn't. Grinding ladder is not easy at all. It is definitely time consuming at the very least. So there's that. So alright, we're gonna be playing against Golds. Oh no. Gold Paladin player called Royal Paladin. Oof, that's trippy. But here we go. Our Oksizz is great. You know, we have the Gunic. We have. Alright, I think we're good to go. I think we got the 2 Gunics. That means we can ride the Gunic. And all will be Gunic. All will be Gunic. Alright, let's ride the Gunic. I'll put the starter on the corner. And, you know, definitely Oksizz. It is Countermass 2, but you can use it multiple times. You don't need to re-ride. And you put the rearguard into the soul, which means you can proc Gunic 1 more time. So that's really helpful. But the 5k body does hurt. You know, you can get bullied like this, but I mean, even if we were a 7k body, we would have been bullied anyway. So it's fine, I guess. Draw trigger is very nice. We did draw into the Zaele, which is solid. Ooh, the counter chargers, we got him. Just gonna call out the Palladium as bait. Swing. Having the 1 soul would be really good. Ah, they did hit the defensive though. That's rough. It's not what we want. But Easel Scissors is interesting. It's rarely seen in Liberator decks these days, because you do have the Monarch Alfred if you do want the Liberator focus. But I do think that Easel Scissors is still a really strong card. There is a reason why it was played as like a 2 or a 1-of before. And it definitely still deserves its place. Here they're just going to spam the board, calling out those Blaster Blade Liberators. It could end up coming back to bite them, but they can always recycle them through the Trumpeter. Always a threat. The heal trigger here is really big. I like to see that. And the Zaele back in the game, you know, would really help. But searching for another Blaster Blade Liberator. Of course, the Wingle did get nerfed to Canvas 1, which I do think is fair. But here, even if we do delete, you know, we don't have a way to lock. So it does hurt a bit. It does hurt a bit. I'm gonna Soul Blast the PG. Another one. All right. I can use it simply so I can then use the Igor and force my opponent to discard 1 for the ride. So let's just do that. I mean, it's fine. The 5k is really whatever. Igor helps us go back to the soul, draw 1. Another grade 3. That's not nice. But I can then use the Gunnek again for Soul Blast 2. Soul Blast in the starter. This is actually pretty solid. Clipping the leader, of course, we don't have the Counterblast, which is a shame. But I don't mind calling out the Oksizz. And of course, I'm going to save the Rigor Swing to the face because it can help us Soul Charge and Counter Charge, which is good. Which is good. Heal here is very good, so we're healing twice already. Someone should keep a heal counter down there because we're doing really good on that department. So, of course, we don't have the Counter Charge, but we still have the Soul Charge, which is valuable. And our opponent has to discard 1 to ride out. And if not, they're stuck on 0 power. Discarding the Gancelot. Of course, we do help them Legion, unfortunately, but that's fine. That's a great animation. I wish the Deletors did have animations, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like they do. Ibuki win, right? That's the rank reward art. Of course, again, another memorial sleeve, and definitely do pick these up by doing the missions. You can try to use the Christmas skin, the sleeve, or the anniversary sleeve, which has both Aichi and Kandom to finish the missions faster. So last one, draw 1, Joseph is solid. What else can they do? That's the question. Blaster Blade. They don't have the Counter Blast though. And the Gancelot calling it out. So that's nice because we do have another prime and delete option. We don't have to go through 2 intercepts, which means 1 more shot to the face, which is really good. It's really good. Alright, I can choose to Legion. I mean, we don't have that many triggers in the deck. We do have the Zaele. That's spicy. I think I'm just gonna stay on the Oksizz for now. Oksizz. Good. Delete. Gets plus 10 as well to get over those numbers. I will be actually locking the left one. Reason being is because the 9k can hit the 9k anyways, and I'd rather have my opponent not be able to call another intercept and be more vulnerable when it unlocks, because we can't relock it anyways. So this way, I definitely think that it's better to push for game this way, and it means that our Vanguard can attack when we are both at 3 damage, which means we could potentially hit heals. So yeah, so here opponent has to discard to re-ride if they want to, and if they don't, they're stuck at a 0k Vanguard even when in Legion state. Going for the easel, so they're gonna get the unlock. Blaster Blade can't use skill, so the easel does get the extra crit and the counter charge. So good on them for counter picking against Link Joker, because it is one of the most popular builds or the clans out there, simply because they did get 2 different archetypes worth of support. We don't have the PG though, which is a shame. That's a shame. That's a shame. Yep. You know, honestly, most decks play like 1 or 2 Easel Scissors, and I'm just surprised that they drew into it, which is unfortunate. But I guess it is how it is. But we do get this heal, the 3rd heal this game, that saved us. Perfect. You know, this is perfect. Exactly what we're looking for. I think I'm just gonna go into the Legion. Yeah. I feel bad, but that's how the game is. You know, sometimes. I do need the mate. Let me get the mate again. That way, the clipping Deletor can search for the mate, and we will have double front row lock. Of course, the opponent can unlock, I guess. I don't even know if that's the right play, but let's still discard the. I guess let's discard the Evo then. Let's discard the Evo. Oh no, we did need the lock to a push for game, huh? swing here. So that's a misplay. So that's the Oksizz, search for Zaele. There we go. And hopefully we hit like a heal or two here. Hopefully they don't have PG. Oh, they do have the PG. I think it's GG for us. We misplayed. We definitely should have just like, you know, locked another unit. This is not good. They can just unlock. Oh, they don't have the skill. It worked out after all. We're all good. We're all good. We're all good here. Delete good. Delete good. Yeah, the draw triggers gonna help them pass, but we good. We good. We good. We good. So it does unlock, but we're gonna relock it. And I'm just gonna go into Zaele to a Legion again. Do need this here. So as long as you don't misplay like me, honestly, we're good. Needing to discard one basically means that if our opponents are backed up against the wall, they can't really do much anymore because they can't rewrite to actually enable their skills. So that's huge. Totally calculated, right, guys? So here we're just gonna push 9k if they heal, 11k if they heal, 22, and then that's game. Yep. All right, let's do one more. Let's do one more, and hopefully better showcase the deck without misplaying that much, because we definitely did misplay here and there, and we did need to rely on some heals to get us past that. The Easel Scissors is definitely spicy, and caught me off guard. Definitely should have committed the grade 2 to be safe rather than sorry, and I did not. So I should have been punished, but you know, that's the way. Just sack out of it, right? So here we're going to be playing against Kagero. Delete is definitely really strong against Kagero because if they're in Legion, then they lose. And you know, generally Kagero doesn't like re-legioning. If they are on grade 4, if they're on Noble, it's really rare that they're able to re-ride. If they are on Break Ride, even if they undelete and re-ride, they can't have the Break Ride skill. So there's a lot of ways to shut down Kagero here, and definitely a deck that I think we have a good matchup against. So here we go. Gojo early game to start filtering. Oh, Neo Flame. Oh, that's the SP. It's spicy. All right, here I do want to save the Gunic actually, but the draw is pretty good. Let's just ride the Gunic. I mean, sorry, we're just gonna ride the Wing. I'll call this out here. One thing you can consider, especially against the Kagero matchup these days, is if you do have to call out, you know, if you have front rows and you do want to protect your back rows, then definitely be careful with your positioning. You know, your opponent can always place down a Neo Flame, hit into the rear guard, and then retire the back row as well. So be careful with that, especially when your starter doesn't have resist. Generally, placing them behind the Vanguard is solid because, you know, unless your opponent throws a Neo Flame behind the Vanguard circle just for that one retire, you're pretty much set. And if they do, it's a solid minus on their end. That you know, it's totally worth it to just lose the starter to that -1 on the Neo Flame. Conroe retires, probably search for PG, just pretty standard play. Honestly, I'd Gojo filter before searching for PG if they are gonna use the Gojo. So that's a minor misplay because then you're reducing the chance of just manually, you know, Gojoing into a PG and increasing the odds of hitting something that's not a PG, you know, like a trigger, which, you know, isn't good. So small misplay there, definitely could influence the flow of the game. And it makes me more confident because our opponent's misplaying. Here, I don't think we need to commit, honestly. We're just gonna battle and get the 1 soul. Oh, the draw trigger, we might overdraw. 2, 4, 6, 8. We're fine. We're fine. All right, losing that 1 PG. Oh, we lose that heal. We healed more than enough. 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 2 PGs. I think we're super comfy. Whatever they ride, I think we have a good way against it, which is just delete it. So cool. All right, the great. It looks really great in SP. All right, they have 5 cards in hand. One of them is a PG. So let's see what else they have. Let's see what else they have. Are they gonna commit? They are gonna commit the 12k. So that's hit 19. That's gonna bully us, and that's the another kill trigger. That's gonna show. That's a draw trigger. It's a double trigger. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna get pushed. Draw trigger. We're gonna overdraw, unfortunately. That's okay. We're just filling up the drop zone, right? You know, that's all part of the plan. That's all part of the plan. All right, we're gonna ride the Oksizz. So let's 2 draw 1. I'll get rid of the heal so we can legion it back down the line. 2, 4, 6, 8. That's okay. Oksizz to delete the great. Not so great after all, huh? Igor. So we're at 9 cards in hand. Oh, this is a nice top deck. Lock. This can help us counter charge. This can help us draw. Two, 4, 6, 7. That's fine. So hit for the counter charge first. Right side just says even if they hit a trigger, we'll pass. And then the middle says even if they hit a trigger, we'll still pass. So it feels really, really good to play this deck. Heal also. So they healed, we're healing back. Boom. Push. 2 to 4. Flipping the script. Changing the flow of the game. So let's see what they can do. They have to discard one to reride. So the great was essentially, well, not so great. And you know, it depends. If they want to stay on the great 0k Vanguard, that's fine. You know, we'll just keep deleting it. Whatever they do, it is going to be a hefty cost to get their Vanguard back up and running. So they're going to discard the grade 3. That's a pain laser turn. Alright, that's fine. That's respectable. Getting rid of that column. So yeah, one thing against the leaders is maybe you want to ride the suboptimal grade 3 because you are intending to reride. So their delete is less, you know, impactful, I guess. Maybe going into pain laser first and then going to the grade would have been better. But who knows? You know, maybe this was all part of the plan. So we still do have one clipping, 1 Zaele. So we can definitely extend our front row locks and keep pushing for game. We do have 3 PGs though, so we can always play more slower and take it easy, you know. 2, 4, 6, 7. Oh, another Zaele. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. This is gonna put us to what? 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Alright, we're gonna delete. We're gonna lock 1. We're gonna unlock another one, and we're gonna push for game. Again, we know they have 1 PG. Okay. Let's see if they have another one. Draw trigger again. Heal. Redundant, but okay. Ooh, and that's game, Oksizz. And even if they survive, you know, what can they do? They don't have any front rows. Their Vanguard, they need to undelete. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough. So there you have it. That's basically Deletor's really strong deck. Of course, you know, you can look at that win streak, which is just not really true. Well, it's technically true, but we did encounter 2 VP farmers on this win streak. But overall, the deck is really strong. Definitely give it a try if you have the chance to. Try out my list. Let me know if you have other units that you suggest. You know, I've tried the 10k grade 2s, I've tried the 12k beaters, I've tried 10k beaters grade 1s as well. But overall, this list has been working best for me for the last few days. And you know, I think there's still room to tweak around with, but generally this is what I'm comfortable with, and I really enjoy the Deletor archetype so far. So let me know how it goes. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already and want to see more. And again, thank you so much for Kamui, for supporting the channel by being a member. And yeah, can't wait to see you all soon. Bye. Are they pretending? Maybe they're pretending. I've never seen an overdressed farmer. Because you have to purposely choose to do this, right? So we'll see.